I'm Fletcher Rhoden, and this is Quotes and Quips. Today, words of wisdom from Plato. Quotes and Quips is brought to you by my website, FletcherRhoden.com. That's where you'll find links, such as those to my Amazon.com author page. That's where you can buy my books in paperback and for Kindle and in audiobook format. There's also a link to my Spotify artist page, where you can buy my records in their various subgenres. I've got new music for 2024. Now you can download my music at numerous sites all over the internet. But at my website, there's free music that you can get there exclusively. So check it out. Okay, well, Plato, he of the Republic, the great ancient Greek philosopher, who gave us so many things. Plato gave us the Platonian notion of art, which I've always taken very much to heart, if I may get away with a rhyme this time. According to Plato, the light of inspiration shone through the prism of the artist and revealed the spectrum of the art, and that the artist was a part of the natural process by which art creates itself, in a way. Interesting stuff. But here's the quote we're going to talk about today, from Plato. He tells us this: "A wise man speaks because he has something to say. A fool speaks because he has to say something. A wise man speaks because he has something to say. A fool speaks because he has to say something." Now this relates to a lot of things we've talked about on the show: active listening, and a sense of general self-absorption in our society in general. People really, there's a quote that goes along with this that I've analyzed on this show, that people tend to listen not with the intent to understand, but with the intent to reply. And if a person is listening only with the intent to reply, that's a fool. That's a person who speaks only because they have to say something. A lot of people will engage in a conversation just to perform in it, without simply sitting and listening and absorbing what's being said and, quietly agreeing or disagreeing. They just have to keep popping in there as if it were a measure of their social worth, as if they had to prove themselves with their pithiness or their cleverness, even lacking in those things. It can be painful to watch a person trying to be funny. In fact, let me rephrase that. It's painful to watch a person trying to be funny. I think it was Benjamin Franklin who had the great quote, "It's better to keep your mouth shut and be thought a fool than to open it and remove all doubt." A quote with a similar message. If you have nothing to say, then say nothing. Now, a lot of people tend to always verbalize their perspective, which is something else too. It goes along with this, though. It's another facet of this quote, I believe. Excuse me. For example, if you disagree with somebody, you don't always have to utter your disagreement. Then you become a contrarian. Nobody likes that. You can silently disagree. Because a lot of statements are multifaceted, and there can be other facets that can be brought into a conversation. But to always say, "Well, yeah, but," it's more contrarian than it is compelling, I would say. Other people just love to shower everybody with the font of their wisdom, which can often take the shape of judgmental tirades, and that's no good either. A wise man will often just sit and listen. You can judge a person as often enough by what they don't say or do as what they do say and do. Some people just want to learn more and absorb, and that's good. You know, I would think that reflects more wisdom than constantly be saying something because that person, the fool, always feels that they have to be saying something. You don't. There's enough static in the world as it is. There's enough people, I get it that I'm among them, who are just out there talking. I get it. If more people were out there listening to my music and reading my books, I might be talking less. But why don't you go to my website, FletcherRhoden.com. There are links to my author's page and so on. In the meantime, this is what I'm doing, and it's talking. I get it. A wise man would be listening, but, you know, I did a lot of listening before I set up the camera and started the talking. So, there's that. Anyway, Plato, after all these years, gives us this word, this blurb of wisdom. A wise man speaks because he has something to say. A fool speaks because he has to say something. So keep that in mind next time you're having a conversation with somebody. And then come back for more words of wisdom right here on Quotes and Quips. I'm here every Monday at noon. And I leave up the reruns so you can check them out. I've got another show called Tracking the Lone Wolf that airs on another YouTube channel. It's from 2023, so there's a whole year's worth of those to watch. And I leave the reruns up here, and then go to my website and check out all my stuff and have some fun. Come back next time, and until then, bye, Mary.